Justia is about to burn down hell for Da-On, in The Judge from Hell. The recently concluded episode 10 ended on a cliffhanger, making viewers anxious for the next episode. Just when Justia and Da-On finally took a leap in their relationship, with Justia recognizing and accepting her feelings for Da-On by hugging him, a determined Paimon makes one last attempt to eliminate his archenemy, Justia, but Da-On is not having it. However, there's no need to fret, because, aside from the fact that Da-On is one of the leads, he can be seen in the preview for the next episode, driving through walls to get to Justia, and someone is still aiming for his head, proving he somehow survived the night. What's more, Arong is unrepentant for the stunt she pulled. She idolized Justia, the third in command in Hell, and couldn't stand seeing her become humanized because of Da-On. She knows the wages of a demon falling in love is worse than death. So she tried to protect Justia in her own way, by putting her life on the line, and summoning Bale. However, Bale is a hypocrite and has other plans. He punished Justia for not listening to the real Bitness pleas, and sent her to Earth to redeem herself. He also extended her punishment, when she killed Da-On without doing her due diligence. However, he's quick to ask Paimon to corrupt Da-On, so he can kill him and send him to hell. This makes you question his motives. He could be after Justia, or suddenly have a sinister reason why he needs Da-On in hell. He told Paimon that they must kill anyone who gets in their way, implying that they have something sinister going on. If you recall, Satan lost the Kylum, which enables one to live eternally in a human form, while escaping from hell. Maybe Bale, who was second in command alongside Satan, might have the Kylum, or is after the Kylum, which has been missing for 26 years. Meanwhile, Bale strips away Justitia's powers for killing Paimon, his right-hand man, and for falling in love with Da-On. When he permitted Paimon to kill Justia, he knew it could go either way, as he had doubts about Paimon beating Justia. A powerless Bitna meets with an unrepentant Arong, who laughs in her face, calling Da-On nothing. Arong found out she was way over her head, when Bale sent Paimon, Justitia's archenemy, to handle Da-On. She made a last-minute effort to protect Justia, by trying to extract a promise from Paimon not to harm her. Despite her being a menace, she has a likeness for Justia. Meanwhile, the identity of Satan, believed to be serial killer J, is still a mystery. So far, Shin Hye is portrayed as the killer, which makes it highly unlikely that he's the killer. He looked confused in Justitia's vision, when he held the murder weapon that killed Detective Kim. Justia also finds it odd and plans to investigate further, so as not to make the same mistake she made with Da-On. He looked confused when Justia called him Satan and serial killer J. He also swore on his late mother's name, that he doesn't know who Satan or J is. However, he knows something, as he was seen with the murder weapon in the last episode. He might have gotten a hold of it when Detective Kim was killed, and kept it for future reference. It also seems like his mother was killed by Killer J, and he's been secretly working undercover to unveil the killer. However, this doesn't mean he's without guilt. Satan could have possessed him to carry out his evil deeds. Moreover, Detective Kim's murder seems different from serial killer J's modus operandi, as a gun was also used, instead of the usual symbolic blade. Either two people were involved, as she was shot while trying to make an arrest, or someone tried to copy Killer J. Someone in the Jung family is Satan and the famous serial killer J. Despite being stripped of her powers, Justitia is adamant about finding serial killer Jae, who murdered Da-On's family. After her last encounter with Shin Hye, she suspects that he's hiding the identity of the killer. To catch the killer, she asks Jae for his son's hand in marriage. Meanwhile, the reason behind the killings was revealed in the last episode. After escaping hell and losing the Kylum, Satan needs different body parts of good people and the Kylum to maintain his immortality. This is why Da-On's parents, who were good people, were targeted. And according to Myung-suk, her son, Yi-chan, was good and believed in God from the moment he was conceived. Detective Kim had been good too, for taking Da-On in after the loss of his family. Myung-suk refused to leave the villa, in hopes of running into the killer someday, so she'd ask him why he killed her son. It seems her prayers will be answered in the next episode. However, it looks like she has the wrong person, as the person in black tries to get away from her instead of harming her. The real question is, why did the killer resurface again after 26 years? During this period, the killer would have aged, and now in need of new body parts. When Da-On's family was killed 26 years ago, the killer was in his prime. This makes Jae the likely suspect, as both Shin Hye and Tae-kyu were teenagers then. However, you would expect the killer to be as old and frail as Jae, but he seems young, as if the last 26 years didn't happen. It could be that he's now using his sons to achieve his aim, or someone is copying serial killer Jae's work. Meanwhile, Tae-kyu is also a likely suspect. According to Park Dong-hoon and Ko Eun-seop, who are investigating Bitna, Tae-kyu was the last person Bitna called before she was killed in the park. But a close look at the masked face shows that Shin Hye could have been the culprit. Unaware of those behind Bitna's death, Justitia is back in the devil's abode. With access to the Young household, she discovers a pool with strong meaning to Shin Hye, who attacks her with a bat. A fight ensues between them, and Justitia, now a human, is no match for Shin Hye, who knocks her out. When she comes through, she tries to get him to tell her who murdered his mother. But Shin Hye, who's beyond reason, tries to choke her to death. Meanwhile, Ae-rong, who's still Team Justitia, worries about her and meets with Da-On. On hearing that Justitia is vulnerable and in trouble, Da-On drives his black truck of doom to her rescue. Who else laughed at Angel Gabriel, taking up the body of a tattooed man to get Justitia's attention? Justitia might have ruffled Da-On in the past, but can't stand anyone messing with him in the present. She wouldn't mind destroying hell for him. On the other hand, Da-On was prepared to go to hell for Justitia, after he realized his feelings for her. He was also ready to take the blade for her. In the preview, Justitia can be seen meting out Justice, just like she did in the past, with Ae-rong and Mando by her side. Maybe, the last fight would be between Justitia and Bale. Meanwhile, Angel Gabriel's prophecy is still a tangible thing between Da-On and Justitia. On a scale of 1 to 10, how anxious are you for the next episode? And who do you think is Satan? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. If you liked this content, give it a like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell for all things wonderfully K-drama. Thanks for watching, bye.